Are you the type of person who does tons of research or watch a lot of reviews first on lenses or equipment before purchasing? If you have been looking at getting your first prime and you chose the 23mm focal length, but you're not sure yet or have an idea or whatsoever, then you have come to the right place. I have been using the Mark II version of the Xf 23mm, and I will share with you my personal experience, particularly about the one major reason why you should not get the new Fuji 23mm lens. Now, let's get right on to it. The new Fuji 23mm lens was released in February of 2022 with a price of $899 US dollars. It is the much awaited upgrade of the original version, which was released 10 years ago and is one of the crowd favorites. Let's discuss first the 4 pros of this lens. First one is the versatility. The 23mm APS-C or the 35mm full-frame focal length is one of the most common and beloved focal lengths for almost all photographers and videographers. It is one of the favorite focal lengths of the street, environmental, landscape, and even portrait photographers. Why? Because it is wide enough to get your subject and the background in the shot. It is not too wide, though it helps you get your composition and framing just right. Just enough to provide context to where your subject is. A lot even say that it's their everyday carry lens because it's so small. And if you're coming off from an iPhone just like me, you will feel right at home with this lens because the look, distance to the subject, and framing is similar to that of the default lens selection of the iPhone. Second one is the form factor. The Fujifilm Xf23 f1.4R LMWR weighs around 375 grams. It is not the smallest lens of the Fuji lineup, but definitely it is not on the mid-size or the huge lenses. There are just, smaller lenses in the lineup. I love this lens because it is weather sealed, so paired with the X-T5, getting my camera wet from the rain or sudden water splashes is something I don't worry about anymore. The lens and the lens hood is made of metal and you can really feel its premium finish once you hold it. When I use it with my X-T5, my setup feels really well balanced in my hands. When I first use it with my X-T5, my setup feels really well balanced in my hands. I also like the aperture ring because it's not too tight or loose. I don't find myself changing apertures by accident or in the middle of the shot. Third one would be the image quality. I have been using this lens for over 6 months now, and I can say that this lens is sharp from f1.8 to f8. I haven't tried shooting f11 onwards because there hasn't been a need lately. I haven't experienced any flares, ghosting, or chromatic aberration whenever I use it. For video, no issues there as well, and it is sharp. Sometimes I even have to crank down the sharpness or use a mist filter to soften the look. Fourth one is autofocus. So this lens uses a linear motor which is fast, accurate, and snappy. I never had issues in locking focus for both photos and stills and videos with this lens, whether it's on single or continuous autofocus. I'm actually filming on it right now and I didn't have to worry about it at all. It is also quiet and responds very well to your autofocus settings. And I think this lens also has a great minimum focusing distance of 19 centimeters, which can help you get really up close to your subjects. Also, I think this is very similar to what macro lenses can offer because how close you can get with the subject. Now, with all of these 4 pros being said, let me share with you the one major con, but it's not really a flaw of this lens, which is the price. So this lens retails around 899 or around 50,000 pesos here in the Philippines. It is relatively expensive compared to its other native Fuji lenses on the lineup, like the old 23 f1.4R, the 23 f2 RWR, or the Fujicron, which is around 428 USD or 22K here in the Philippines, and the third-party options like Viltrox, which is $289 or 40,000 here in the Philippines, and the Sigma lens, which is around 549 USD or 28,000 here in the Philippines. I initially got the silver Viltrox f1.4, and that was a good lens too, for 1/3 of the price. However, I sold it after a month, not because it did not perform well, but for me, weather sealing is really important for me. Not that I plan on doing extreme stuff with the lens and the camera, but for peace of mind, I just want all of my gear to be weather sealed as I plan to take this to the beaches and mountains. I have also could have gone with the Fujicron 23mm f2 RWR because it's smaller, lighter, and cheaper. I also love its color because it's silver. However, at that time, I knew that I wanted to become pro as well. So eventually, and this is just me, I'm the type who prefers to have the best that Fuji has to offer. So I chose the new f1.4. I knew that if I bought the f2 at that time, I will eventually upgrade from it. So might as well save some time and money and grab the f1.4. Finally, would I recommend the Xf 23 f1.4 Mark II as your very first prime lens? It's a yes and a no. So if you are looking for a prime lens that will elevate your photos and feel naturally the same on how you use your iPhone or Android phones, and would want to explore being a professional photographer as well, then I would personally recommend the Fuji Xf 23 f1.4R LMWR. However, I also said no because I think it's an overkill for a beginner. The reasons I mentioned above, all that are all great, don't get me wrong, but you can also get them from the Fujicron f2, the Viltrox, and the Sigma. Although, there might be some small differences in the image quality in the build, but you will get them for half or third of the price. If you are just a beginner, then I would suggest that you try checking those lenses, as they may be a good choice for you. If you are just a casual shooter, then you might want to consider the ones I mentioned before. But if you want an absolute best of the best, or you are just a Fuji fanboy just like me, then go for the 23mm Mark II version. You would not encounter any problems with this lens, and this lens can grow with you as you start and all the way when you become a professional photographer someday. So how about you? What was your first lens, and was it also a prime lens or a zoom lens? I'd like to get your thoughts about it, and if you are interested in this lens, I will leave a link in the description below. Lastly, if you would like to know the prime lens that I used and the reason why I bought it and why, please click the link to watch the video. Thanks everyone!